Stephanie Abrams here, dashing through the airport. I'm going on an adventure. I've got my backpack, I've got my laptop, I've got my traveling shoes on. Come along with me. I'm going to take you to some wonderful, truly awesome places. And look where we're starting out. We're starting out in Saratoga Springs at the racetrack. Look out. Yield for horse crossing. I think so. That's probably a really good idea. Oh, look at that gorgeous horse. Being at the track is such fun. And I'm not a gambler, but I so enjoy being at the track. And if we gamble, just maybe we'll put $10 on a bet or $2 on a bet just for the fun of it. And if you're going to go to Saratoga Race Track, how about checking in first at the Pavilion Grand Hotel? I'm there with a number of SCA-leagues, members of SCA. Hi, all you SCA-leagues out there. And we've got our hats on, looking gorgeous in the lobby. In the background there, perched in the back between the hats and the painting, is Suzanne Simpson, the hotel's general manager. And she went with us, as you can see, over to historic Saratoga Racecourse. What a great place. My husband managed to sneak in there. The flowers are beautiful. Everything about it is lovely. And here we are near the finish line, up in the clubhouse. We've got some horses, and they're off, racing at us. Look at them all. You know, if you look carefully, it looks like at least one of them has all 4 feet off the ground. And this was a steeplechase. And my husband was very clever because he figured steeplechasing, doing jumps in the middle of the race course, is very British. So he bet on a long shot, 30-1, a British horse. $2 bet, paid $60. Can I tell you, I wish we had put 1,000 or 2,000 on that horse, but as I said, we're not gamblers. So let's watch them run. Here they come racing along. We were in such great seats, and it's a racetrack that's just so wonderfully historic. Here they come. Ah, well, now they're resting. Can't tell you who won, but the grounds are gorgeous, and now it's time for us to go over to the Pavilion Grand Hotel. There are wonderful rooms, but there are also fabulous suites. And if you look through the living room into this kind of kitchen serving area, the kind of kitchen you want to take home with you, you see the door on the right, that leads out to a terrace. There's another door, so there are 2 doors that go out onto the terrace. Ah, it's charming and wonderful, truly wonderful. We took a tour of the property with Suzanne Simpson. You see her there on the right with My Little Merry Band. All the people in SCA are in the travel industry worldwide. So this is a conference room. Isn't that lovely? Oh, lovely, comfortable, airy. Make a little speech to everybody. Hi, y'all. And not only does the conference room, but many of the suites open onto your own private terrace. Isn't that gorgeous? If you walk off to the right, you can see down the row, each of those fence dividers is separating one suite from the next. These are all penthouse suites, and they have a lot of them. So if you want to have a party or you want to just vegetate yourself there, take your bottle of wine and your glasses and look for Suzanne Simpson. She is everywhere all the time. The woman's amazing. When I learned that they have just instituted their pet-friendly hotel, I said to Suzanne Simpson, the general manager, oh, well, we have to come and check it all out. And I have to tell you that Erin has given the Pavilion Grand 5 paws. So, and everyone here has been so friendly and so lovely and so welcoming. And there were lovely treats waiting for her on arrival. And she's one, as you can see, could she be any more content going bye-byes with mommy? So what prompted you, Suzanne, to jump on the, why don't we invite people with their dogs?
I was sitting with one of our guests that come with us quite often. They stay with us. And really in the conversation, we started talking about their dog and how it was just they missed their dog. They would come more often if they could bring their dog. And our owners actually very much encouraged it because our owner does have dogs. And he travels with his dogs because they'll go and stay a couple of months at a time in a certain place or wherever they might be. It becomes that's their family. And so they wanted to be able to offer the same thing with our hotel. So we've taken one floor that we've truly dedicated to being able to bring the dogs. We wanted to create something that was special so they could have their own bed, they could have their bowls, they could have their treats. And after talking with you and also coming up with some other fun ideas, we're going to be able to do where are the dog parks and the dog walking trails and really give them their own welcome packet as well. So,
well, and I think it's marvelous that the second floor of the Pavilion Grand has been designated as the dog welcoming floor. And that's terrific because you don't have to wait very long for an elevator to get from the lobby to a second floor or for you to get downstairs and outside when it becomes clear, good time to go out. Time to go out. But in one of our conversations when you let me know that this is happening, I said, gonna pack a little bag, take Erin's favorite things, and we're gonna run off to visit you and check it all out. But I'm gonna imagine that you're gonna create a place on your homepage to click for dog-friendly information?
Absolutely, we will.
Okay, so in the meantime, the website is?
PavilionGrandHotel.com. And you can also call us for any questions that you have on bringing your dog. We are so excited to welcome them and welcome you.
Well, that's wonderful. We're going to go off and have some more fun. Now that we've been to the racetrack, let's go off to the Saratoga Automobile Museum, which is housed in what used to be a bottling plant for a beverage company. And you go inside and you will find some truly magnificent cars. I think I've gotten the attention of all the men in my audience, but I have to tell you, fashionable ladies love fashionable cars. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? I'm told could it be really an amphibious car? I don't think so, but somebody told me it is. Could it be? Look at that. Ah, gorgeous. And they always are having different cars in the museum. So if you've been to the Saratoga Automobile Museum before, well, you might want to go again. Let's go stop before we go back to the Pavilion Grand where we're overnighting at the Adelphi Hotel. Look at that Gilded Age gorgeousness. And let's go inside. And we are met by the intersection of the Gilded Age and modern life in America. Look at that upholstered seating unit. Very 1890s, 1910. But if you look carefully, that's a spot for you to charge your phone or plug in to their Wi-Fi for a solid line. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? That's the wall behind the reception desk, and it's made of these gorgeous crystal plates. And some craftsmen created this wonderful wall. There's a close-up of the dishes that they used to create this gorgeous wall. Now, if you walk to the right of there, you're going to find the stairway that I think would be a perfect spot for a bride to be standing for some wedding pictures. This is their conservatory. It's called the Blue Hen. It's also a restaurant. Is that not stunning? Food is great, by the way. And then they have a more formal dining room as well. Come and check out a bedroom. You could just look at that bed and know that sleeping in it is like sleeping on a marshmallow. And you see the bathrobes hanging in the bathroom right there. Place is gorgeous. This is an accommodation for people that want separate beds, and it looks to me like They're bigger than a twin, but smaller than a full size, or maybe they're two full-size beds. Looks like a lot of room to me. Morrissey's Bar. Yummy food, great atmosphere, and that place is hopping. So if you're in Saratoga Springs and you're looking for a place that's lively, lots of people and excitement going on there in the best sense, this is a happy place, and the food is outstanding. It's coming out of the same kitchen as their formal dining room and the Blue Hen. Now, if you look carefully at this picture in the lobby, look in the mirror, you can see the reception desk and that wall behind it with those pieces of glass, crystal dishes that were built into a piece of very nice looking, I think it's mahogany, but it's a very nice wood. And then they dropped all around it fantastic little glass pebbles. Here's another great surprise about the Adelphi and the Pavilion Grand Hotel. They are both pet friendly, and that's Erin Go Woof. She's met a friend. The friend wants to come courting. Isn't that nice? Look at her. She's zoned in with a beaded eye. Well, we're going to go off to Florida next for some attractions there. You want to meet a dolphin who paints? We're going to do that right after this. Stay with me. Let's head for Florida. Look at that sign. We're at the intersection of Stop and Gone Fishing. And we're going to be driving from Palm Coast, Florida to Marineland. And that's the name of the town, Marineland. And look at the mailboxes along the way. A dolphin, a lighthouse, a pelican. Check out the alligator. And some gorgeous homes. No, that's not a hotel. That's somebody's house. And it's an interesting area because you've got the ocean on one side and you've got the intercoastal waterway on the other. And it's a fairly amazing area. Look at the sign. Do you think anybody proofreads anymore? If in doubt, paddle out. Our used boards. Was that supposed to be use our boards? Just in that area, you will see, if you're going from Palm Coast, Florida to Marineland, on the left side of the road, you're going to cross a little bridge. And right there, on the left side of the road, you're going to see a little charming beachcombers kind of place to have a meal. The birds like it there, too. They have signage there that's hilarious. Check this one up. What goes up must come down. Do not feed birds. Do you get the picture? But there are lots of umbrellas and there are lots of places to sit. Kids throwing rocks will be fed to resident bull sharks. Doesn't sound too friendly. Dogs, welcome on deck. Kids must remain on leash. You get the feeling that your children must be well behaved or you're pretty much not invited. I get that. Well, here we are approaching Marineland. You can see this is where you check in. This is where you can go and see or have a dolphin encounter. And they've got a great gift shop there, too. Very interesting place, Marineland Dolphin Adventures. And the founder of the town of Marineland, Florida, and the Marineland establishment was Cornelius Vanderbilt Whitney, who was very much into the aquatic marine life and filmmaking. There's a good shot of the outside of the building. And there are many holding tanks there for the dolphins. But this is also a place where they made films like Creatures from the Black Lagoon and many more. Have a look at what I'm doing. I'm holding a canvas over the face of the dolphin. Now look closely at the dolphin's mouth. The dolphin is holding a plastic bottle with a sponge cap on it, and the dolphin squeezes on the bottle, which fills the sponge with the paint color that you've selected. And I selected 2 colors, aqua and yellow. And so those were the 2 bottles you've seen, and there is the dolphin about to sign the work. Actually, the signature on the work comes from a peel and stick, piece of cellophane tape kind of thing, and so it is signed. But there is the yellow and aqua piece. See the signature in the bottom right corner in the shape of a dolphin, and it's framed and matted in a white frame hanging on my bathroom wall. It goes great in my bathroom. I love my dolphin painting. So I'm thanking the dolphin by shaking its tail. Actually, it's flipper. Now it's tail. And now they're very happy. So you're going to see my dolphin showing off for me. Jumping and flying through the air and splashing down. So cool. But they have a whole museum dedicated to film. And that's one of the old original film projectors. And what they actually did was they dug down into the earth and put windows you can see underwater into the sea. Through the sand and whatever. It's amazing. And they have a little aquarium there with gorgeous fish. Look at the color of that fish. Look at the designs on this fish and the colors. Just gorgeous. So that fence, and you see like a moon gate at the end, that brick moon gate. If you walk through there, that's where you're going to find the dolphin pools. But there's a lovely walkway, and you see on the right that nice bench. Bring a magazine or a book or a big hat and sunglasses. It's just such a peaceful, delightful place to be and to visit. And as you're leaving, there's some beautiful gardens, and they attract the butterflies. So that's a nice, friendly goodbye. But maybe it's time now for us to go off and find our place where we're going to reside. And while it is a hotel, I hate to call it a hotel, because Hammock Beach Resort becomes your home away from home. It is amazing, and it is huge. Look how big it is. And manicured. Look at the driveway and the grass and the shrubs and the trees, and it's just gorgeous. Where you enter the lobby to check in, you have this fountain surrounded by beautiful flowers, lots of places to sit. We're now in the interior courtyard. It's just gorgeous there. Now, this photo was taken from the balcony of our, I hate to just call it a suite. It really is big. I could have moved in there and stayed forever. And you're now looking down over that area where we just pulled in. That's the terrace on this 3-bedroom suite with the most amazing lounging facilities of bedrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen. But look at the balcony. Is that not spacious and wonderful? A great place to have coffee or watch the sunset or have a munch. And from the balcony, you can see one of the swimming pool areas and all the way out to the sea. Look at that. Stunning. You're also overlooking a golf course. And I thought this was so funny. I mean, look at this. It's a convention of Adirondack chairs, not in the Adirondacks. So this is more aerial views taken from our terrace of our villa suite at Hammock Beach Resort in Palm Coast, Florida, on Florida's East Coast. Now they have this amazing water park area. And I'm pretty sure it's 25,000 square feet of activity and water park facilities and marina. And of course, they have the lazy river. There is nothing more relaxing than draping your body across or into one of these floating tubes. But when time has come, you want a relaxing environment, and look at this. Now, I know that the last general manager of Hammock Beach Resort, when it came time for his son's wedding, organized the wedding in this suite. Can you imagine having the intimate ceremony here and enjoying the facility? I mean, what a great place. And there's a fireplace and dining area. Now, this is taken from one end of the dining area looking down toward the kitchen, and you can see the sofa on your left. So the living room is to your left. Straight ahead, there are a couple of wonderful bar seats at the counter in the kitchen. Look at that. You want to take that home with you? It's a Viking kitchen. All Viking, a Viking everything. Viking stove. On your left there, you see that big cabinet? That's your refrigerator. Hiding behind there. Gorgeous. Granite counters. This is the master bedroom. And while you can't see out the view in this image, the view is spectacular. Just spectacular. Okay, the bathroom. In addition to the shower area, here's this wonderful tub that makes you think you're in your own little mini pool. And 2 sinks far enough apart that you're not bumping into each other. And then there's 3 bedrooms. There's another with twin beds. And as it's starting to get dusk, we thought it would be a good idea to share with you this wonderful resort that looks like it's iced in pink icing. And the sun is now setting to dusk, and the lights are coming on, and the views are still spectacular here at the wonderful Hammock Beach Resort. Stay with me. I'm taking you more great places today. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Stephanie Abrams, and you know I love to go traveling, and I bet you do too, and that's why you're watching. But if you're going traveling, there are some things that you absolutely need. One is a passport, and another is something to entertain you, perhaps other than a video game while you're traveling. Maybe when you crawl in bed at night, or while you're on an airplane, or maybe waiting at the airport. Try Rumors by Stephanie Abrams. You'll find it at every online bookseller. It's a story of intrigue, mystery, love, lust, romance, and all wrapped up in rumors in a community where people like to talk about one another. And the end result, you'll never see coming. It's full of twists and turns, fast-paced, and people just love it. Go read the reviews and get yourself a copy for traveling with. Rumors by Stephanie Abrams. I want to take you off to where the scenery is just monumentally fabulous. Jackson, New Hampshire. And we are in Jackson for the Wacky Quacky Ducky Race. And everywhere you look, you will see evidence of ducky inflatables, posters. The whole town goes wacky quacky for the ducky race. We're going to check in at the Christmas Farm Inn. It's a pet-friendly place, so we have our English Springer Spaniel with us, Erin Go Woof. And in that big white farmhouse, there are rooms, but there are also these individual cottages, and they are lovely. And look at this with the deck wraparound. And Erin Go Woof is getting very comfortable in this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, living room with fireplace. How lovely. And you can go out those sliders, you're out on your own little deck. And there is a reminder that if you've got a pet with you, you want to keep your pet on a leash. Why? Because of the bears. Lots of instructions on how to stay safe with bears around. One of the owners of the Christmas Farm Inn met us outside. That's Sandra Plood. And inside in the lounge waiting for us was her husband Gary, followed by Ellie Coppell, who is a restaurateur and innkeeper. We'll meet up with her later. So let's go over and register for the Wacky Wild Ducky Race. And here you've got a local band. People are starting to gather on this bridge because the race starts at the top of Jackson Falls, and they drop all of the duckies over the falls that people have purchased, and there's a number on each, and whoever ducky gets there first wins $1,000. So they've done this now 34 years. Let's have a listen a bit.
There always are a few ducks that try to make a break.
Here on the bridge, you've got a fellow from the committee giving instructions on what's going to happen, telling people how to get their own duckies. And here comes the opening parade. Now you'll notice in the parade that there are young people wearing tie-dyed, colorful shirts. Well, if you could read them, they say Ducky Patrol. And you'll see more about them later. But let's go up to the top of Jackson Falls, where the duckies are going to be sent into the river. I'm in Jackson, New Hampshire, and behind me is the waterfalls at Jackson, a fairly amazing place. And they started the ducky race right here by dropping, a couple of thousand rubber duckies over from the bridge that you can see way in the background, and they drop them all at once. First the big duckies, and then the smaller rubber duckies, and then they go cascading down from level to level, and there are down to the water, and you can see the pooling effect of the water here. So they go swimming all summer long. What a gorgeous spot. It's time to dash down by the riverbank, where you can see the kids are already sitting in the river holding sticks. Their job is to dislodge any duckies that get bound up in the rocks or stuck along the weeds at the sides of the riverbank. Fabulous, isn't it? What fun this was. Everybody was having such a lovely time. And when you look downstream, it looks like flowers, like little lily pads those are all duckies. And you can see the kids taking their job very seriously, pulling out the lodged duckies and sending them downstream, giving some of them a nice assist in the race, by the way. But nobody seems to mind. And they do their best to catch all of them at the other end under another bridge so that none of them escape and get out into the Atlantic Ocean ultimately. How cool is this? And it was such a gorgeous day. And people there with picnics, or they were buying food from the vendors, and a good time being had by all. And even me getting hugged by that big ducky. But let's go off for dinner at the Elegant Country Inn, the Wentworth. Lovely porch there that you might want to sit to have a cocktail before dinner, go in and have a steak. Does that not look fabulous? It tasted as good as it looks. And I had the salmon. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Well, time to say goodbye to my ducky. But this is now a time to think about where do we go next. And if you enjoyed being at a river, you're going to love being on an island. So let's go off to Curaçao. Like some destinations in the Caribbean that you think of as an escape for sand and sun and sea, you'll find all of that in Curaçao. It is an absolute joy to have on the line with me Paul Pennicook. Paul has been a leader in the travel industry close to forever, and I know him close to forever. And he has recently become the new CEO of the Curaçao Tourist Board. And Curaçao is an amazing island. If you have never been there, you need to plan to go there. And it is a delight to have you online with us. And welcome back into my life, Mr. Pennicook.
Well. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's certainly a grand opportunity I have here. It's so good to be with you again. And if I may say so, since you're talking to me in Curaçao, bon béni à Curaçao.
Oh, I have to learn all of that.
Well, bon béni is just welcome.
So let's talk about some of the. We started to talk about some of the special attractions that make Curaçao unique.
Yes, I mentioned Playa Pescadora. What is that? That's actually Spanish for Fisherman's Beach. And what happens at Fisherman's Beach is that is where you can swim with the turtles.
Wow.
The fishermen come in there and actually clean the fish. And where they dispose of the cleaning of the fish, it doesn't sound that great, but that's what feeds the turtles. And the turtles have become so used to having human beings around that they swim right out into another part of the beach, and you can go swim with them and enjoy yourself. And these turtles behave like humans, frankly.
Oh, well, they're very clever, and they know, lunch and dinner are being served at these hours. So is there...
That's swimming with the turtles at Playa Pescadora. You come back into town, and there's a dolphin attraction, Dolphin Academy, where we can swim with the dolphins here, but it goes a bit beyond that. There is a real dolphin academy where you can enjoy an intimate, educational, and interactive experience with dolphins in their natural lagoon. And that is, you can also do it in the open sea because there are these lagoons and they swim right out into the ocean. Beautiful experience down here in Curaçao.
I actually did that years ago, and I was at first a big chicken. And it took some wonderful coaching by the fellow in charge to actually get me to slide in the water. And they had 2 dolphins at the end of this session where you swam around with the dolphins and whatever. At the end, they had a dolphin swim up next to you on each side. You put your arms out left and right and put your palm in front of their fin, and he would blow a whistle, and the 2 took off, and you went across this enclosed area at 35 miles an hour. It was exhilarating. I was wonderful, and I'm such a chicken. So if I could do it, just about anybody could do this thing.
Anybody could do it.
It was it's one of my favorite memories of being in Curaçao. And I know Curaçao has added so many attractions, and every year it evolves into more and better. And then you have unbelievable history, including for all of you who have read and embraced and internalized the story of Anne Frank. You have a unique Anne Frank museum exhibit where they recreated the bookcase and the stairway behind the bookcase that led to the attic in Holland, in Amsterdam, where the Frank family was hiding away with all those other families during World War II. And you don't have to cross the ocean for that experience. You can experience that in Curaçao.
No, well, that is, in fact, one of the beautiful things about down here, where you can, in fact, see these wonderful things from Europe and from some bit of history without having to cross the Atlantic. You can see it right down here on the island.
For people who are going, you want to be there at least a week. But if you can stay longer, you're not going to run out of things that you want to see and do. It's just not possible.
Not at all. Because, as you mentioned, there are lots of things to do here. The ostrich farm is one thing that's very popular.
Well, what I'd like to do, since we're running out of time in this segment, I'd like to take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back and continue our conversation with Paul Pennicook in Curaçao, in the islands that are part of the Dutch island group just off the coast of South America, in an easy to reach. Well, listen, once you're on the plane, it doesn't matter. It takes off, it goes, it lands. So, watch a movie, have a snack, and you'll be there. Don't leave me. We'll be right back. This is Stephanie Abrams. I have on the line with me live from Curaçao, Paul Pennicook, the new CEO of the Curaçao Tourist Board. And it is a delight to have you with us. You know, I talk about there's two kinds of stories, the platinum story and the plastic story. The platinum story is the authentic, real deal, and Curaçao has it all.
Has a real deal.
It really does.
Talking about that, it's an aloe and ostrich farm tour that we're going to talk about now. Very unique. On this tour, you learn all about the healing powers of the aloe vera plant.
Oh, no kidding.
And you do that by safari truck, by the way. And on going on that truck, you can observe and feed the ostriches.
Not only that, I have a photo of me, and if we're going to have to dig it out, but I have a photo of me standing on 2 ostrich eggs.
Well, there you go.
But you'll see me, and I thought, you know, you're going to stand on any kind of an egg, you're just going to squash it. Not so with ostrich eggs. And for my audience that homeschools your children, Curaçao is an open classroom. You have the marine biology, you've got the places you can go to learn, the same place that you can go and swim with the dolphins. They have all kinds of instructional and informational and, you know, tactile experiences where you can touch this and learn all about what's under the sea. You've got the ostrich farm, and I remember going, I have to share this with you another time, but about my experiences at that aloe and ostrich farm. And I remember the fellow who was in his early stages of planting all this stuff. I mean, it was amazing. It's all there for you.
That's right.
And then when you're done with your sightseeing and your shopping, you can go back to the resort you're staying with, jump into your bathing suit, and be at any one of the beautiful beaches, including the ones you'll have at your hotel. But there, really, you have an island filled with beautiful beaches, no?
Absolutely beautiful beaches. Perfect location for a full day of relaxation, snorkeling, diving. It's just a great, great, great thing.
Paul, do you have a final message for today for our audiences?
My final message to your audience today is this. Curaçao has a lot to offer. It is like a little hidden gem down here in the Caribbean, and I'm inviting all of your audience to come and try Curaçao, because believe me, there's so much here to see and do, and the people are so friendly. You will definitely enjoy visiting Curaçao.
And like me, you're going to want to go back again. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Paul. It's been a delight. You need to know where I'm standing at this very moment. And for me, it's one of the top destinations in the entire world, and that's Niagara Falls. And before we get too involved in going to visit everything that Niagara Falls has to offer, we're going to check in at the Doubltree by Hilton at Niagara Falls, New York. And as you get into the lobby, you can see not only is it comfortable and sleek and makes for a peaceful experience, it's within walking distance of the falls. Waiting for us in the lobby is the general manager, Scott Swagler. Fabulous fellow, just fabulous fellow. And first thing we're going to do is go into their bar and relax with a drink in their beautiful bar area. Time to have something yummy to eat. Look at the restaurant. And we had the chance to meet with their executive chef, Mike Bonopane, which in Italian means good bread. Could it be any better than that? But with a good meal behind us, let's head up to our accommodations. You can see it's evening, the lighting is soft. We're going to crawl into that marshmallow of a bed any minute now in this lovely accommodation that offers every amenity, and take a look at that bathroom. Before we check out, giving one last goodbye to General Manager Scott Swagler, who's on top of everything, and they're standing in front of that gorgeous piece of art reminiscent of the falls. Let's go out and see the real deal. These are rapids that lead up to the falls itself. On a hot day, you want to be there. The cool breezes coming off the water, the mist of the water that goes over the falls. Fabulous. Just have a look. Now we're going to take a walk through Niagara Falls State Park. You'll see wonderful floral displays as we go. We're going to walk across the bridge that goes over those rapids. And we're going to follow the sign to Top of the Falls Restaurant. Now when you get there, wow, the views are spectacular at the area where the Top of the Falls Restaurant is, and you can see the splash coming up from the falls, and the breeze brings that to embrace you in cool, wonderful mist of the falls. Now remember, this is Niagara Falls, New York. That's why you're seeing the American flag. Lots of people standing along the walkway there having a look. Let's go into the restaurant. You see all those windows? Well, those windows wrap around panoramically everywhere. The bar is lovely. Let's get a couple of nice summery drinks and find a comfortable place to sit and meet with the general manager of Top of the Falls, Michael Barnes. He's already got his headset on. We're going to do an interview. You can find the interview at sabrams.com. And we're also had the pleasure of sitting down and meeting with the executive chef, Daniel Thorington, and you'll find his interview at sabrams.com as well. But look at the background. I'm interviewing these people, and behind us is the falls and the big splashing mist coming off of it. I think I was wiping the mist of the falls from the back of my neck. I wasn't showing off. Here with executive chef Daniel Thorington. But here, look out the windows, and all that looks like fog, that's the mist of the falls. So long to you, and thanks for a lovely lunch that we had there, to the gifted hands of executive chef Daniel Thorington. We're gonna head in to check into our next hotel. You're gonna love the charm of it. But as we get closer to where we're checking in, you see the rapids are behind us, just across the street from this hotel. And there we are at the Red Coach Inn. And it's quite a historic hotel. Flowers everywhere. And that whole area behind the flowers are tables and chairs where they will serve you whatever meal it is you're eating at the moment. But I love this dining room best of all. Look at this. Look at this. You know, it is so reminiscent of places in the English countryside. Just fabulous. Perfect place for a meeting or, you know, some reunion kind of thing, because they've got the space for it, both indoors and out. Look at the painting over the fireplace. It is reminiscent of the Red Coach Inn and coaches arriving with horses to deliver you. And we met with Mark Januszewski, who is the general manager, and he escorted us to our accommodation. Look at this. Very comfortable, big room, very comfortable in every way. Close up of the woodworking on the fireplace. Look at this. And you can see the corner tub and the big shower in the corner. Just beautiful. And here I am getting ready to do recorded interviews with Mark Januszewski, the GM, before we go off across the street. Now there are the rapids right across the street that lead down to the falls. And if you look carefully through this window from our bedroom accommodation, you can see sightseeing trolleys that take you through Niagara Falls State Park. And you see the rapids right behind. Walk off to the right there, and you can follow along the river's edge. Walk into Niagara Falls State Park and get better views of the falls. And one of the views you see here is a competitor to Maid of the Mist. These are Canadian run. You see the Canadian flag? So there, people wear ponchos that are red, because when you get near the falls, you're going to need those ponchos because you're going to get wet. And we're going to go ahead now and go through the process of getting our tickets and going off on the Maid of the Mist on the American side of the falls. So follow the arrow and follow me. They're going to give us blue ponchos. We get in line, and there we go, getting aboard, and off we're going to sail. Now that's another Maid of the Mist going by. And the closer you get, the cooler it is. Those are some folks on other hikes through Cave of the Winds and other things. That's us on the boat. Now, you see the freckles on the picture? Raindrops on the lens of the camera. I don't recommend it. But if you want pictures, everything gets wet. It's marvelous. You have to do it, people. And you get up close and personal with Niagara Falls on this journey. It is so worth the trip. Now, you see that bridge off to your left. They call it Rainbow Bridge, and they call it Rainbow Bridge for a reason. Look, the raindrops are getting thicker and thicker. You see the rainbow starting on the left, going across the screen? Look at that. Guaranteed a rainbow, people. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're finished up. We've gotten rid of our ponchos. You can stand on the bridge and never take the Maid of the Mist, but I so recommend it. It's quite an experience. Views of the landscape around. My husband looking like he's been caught up in the wind. But wait till you see me. If you've got a wig, this is a good time to bring it, people. You want it for evening. And here comes the evening, but guaranteed tomorrow, another rainbow at Rainbow Bridge at Niagara Falls.
Where did the hour go? Come back next week. Gotta fly now.
There are so many fabulous destinations in the world, and we explore so many of them here. And we will again in the future.